Hi, my name is Joanne. I'm a tutor here at Wyzant, and a student submitted this question. They wanted us to rationalize the denominator of this fraction. And so in the denominator, we have a radical, the square root of 2, and our goal is to get rid of that radical. Well, to do that, we're going to multiply this fraction by another fraction. So I'm going to start out, I'm going to write the numerator again. I have the square root of 2 plus 1. In my denominator, I have the square root of 2 minus 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the same fraction. And that what it is going to be the same thing I have down here, the square root of 2 minus 1, except for I'm going to change the sign in between them. I'm going to make it the square root of 2 plus 1. And in order to not change what I'm doing here, I need to make sure that I make it the same thing in the numerator that I'm multiplying by. Now I won't change this fraction, but I'm going to be able to get rid of that radical. So if you've done the multiplying of these two together here, we're going to use what's called the FOIL method, which is, so make sure we multiply everything properly, which is multiply first terms, outside terms, inside terms, and last terms together. So in the numerator, my first term is the square root of 2 times the square root of 2. So that will give me square root of 2 times the square root of 2 gives me the value of 2. Then I have the outside, square root of 2 times 1. I'm going to add the square root of 2 here. Inside is 1 times the square root of 2. And finally, last is 1 times 1. So that's going to go in my numerator. And in my denominator, I'm going to do the same thing. I have first multiply together. So square root of 2 times square root of 2 is 2. Outside is the square root of 2 times 1. Inside is negative 1 times the square root of 2. So I'll have minus the square root of 2. And finally, last is negative 1 times 1, which is minus 1. So I'm going to simplify and combine like terms in the numerator. I get 2 plus 1 is 3. And then I have square root of 2 plus a square root of 2. That gives me plus 2 square root of 2. In my denominator, I have 2 plus a negative 1. So I have 1. And I have the square root of 2 minus the square root of 2. Well, that's equal to 0. That helps me to get rid of my radical from my denominator. And I am left with 3 plus 2 square root of 2. So the process is when you have in the denominator this something like this, a square root of 2 minus 1, to get rid of it, I'm going to multiply by the same thing, but I'm going to change the sign from minus 1 to plus 1. And that is the answer to this problem.